Okay, so today we're going to take a deep dive into a pretty heavy topic.
Yeah.
And that's the idea of finding meaning through suffering.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to use man's search for meaning as our guide.
Of course.
And I have to admit, when I first picked up this book, I was a little bit hesitant.
I can understand that.
It just felt like, wow, this is going to be a tough one.
Heavy.
Yeah. But exploring this idea with you has actually been surprisingly empowering.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
A lot of people think that Frankl was
yeah.
advocating for suffering,
Right.
or that he was diminishing the impact of suffering.
Yeah.
But he experienced the horrors of the concentration camps firsthand.
Yeah.
So he understood suffering
Right.
on a level most of us just can't fathom.
Right.
But his work really centers around this idea that even in those depths of despair,
Yeah.
we still have the power to choose our attitude
Right.
and find meaning.
So this concept of finding meaning in suffering really intrigues me.
Sure.
But I struggle to see how it works practically.
Yeah.
Like, how do we actually do that?
Well, so one of Frankl's key insights is that we can discover meaning in 3 specific ways.
Okay.
By creating a work or doing a deed,
Right.
by experiencing something or encountering someone,
Right.
or by the attitude we take toward unavoidable suffering.
Okay, so if we were to, think about someone who's facing a modern-day challenge,
Right.
like losing their job,
Sure.
how could they use this idea to,
Absolutely.
mental-
So let's use that example.
Yeah.
Imagine someone who's built their entire identity
Yeah,
around their career.
right,
They're suddenly laid off and they feel like their whole world is collapsing.
right,
It's a massive blow to their ego,
right.
their sense of security,
Mhm.
everything.
It's interesting to think of it like that, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like some people maybe don't have the luxury of simply choosing their attitude,
Yeah,
when facing real hardship.
I understand.
What about people who lack resources or support?
You're right. It's not about just ignoring the very real pain and challenges.
Right.
It's about recognizing that even within those constraints,
Yeah.
we still have a choice.
Okay.
So instead of being consumed by bitterness and resentment,
Mm-hmm.
that person could choose to see this job loss as an opportunity.
Okay.
Maybe it's a chance to retrain for a career they're really passionate about,
Right.
one that offers more flexibility or aligns better with their values.
I actually went through something similar recently.
Oh, really?
I was freelancing, and a big project that I was really counting on fell through.
Wow.
It was really stressful financially, and it really dented my confidence.
Oh, yeah.
I remember thinking, what am I even doing?
Yeah. What did you do?
So I realized I had been, so focused on this one type of work
Yeah.
that I had neglected other skills and interests.
Right.
So I took some online courses,
Yeah.
started networking in different circles,
Mm-hmm.
and I eventually landed a much more fulfilling role.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking back, that setback forced me to step outside my comfort zone.
Yeah.
And ultimately led to something much better.
That's a perfect example of finding meaning through creative work.
Yeah.
You didn't deny the difficulty of the situation, but you also didn't let it define you.
Love
You
that.
actively sought out new opportunities for
Yeah.
growth and meaning.
But isn't it difficult to find meaning
Yeah.
in truly horrific situations, though?
Of course.
How does Frankl address situations where the suffering is immense?
That's where the third avenue for meaning comes in.
Okay.
The attitude we take toward unavoidable suffering.
Right.
Frankl argues that even in the face of unimaginable pain,
Right.
we can choose how we respond.
Okay.
It doesn't diminish the suffering,
Yeah.
but it allows us to retain a sense of dignity and agency.
Right.
He uses the example of a prisoner,
Okay.
helping a fellow inmate even though it meant risking his own life.
Wow.
It was a tiny act of defiance against the dehumanizing conditions of the camp,
Right.
a way to hold on to his humanity.
So what does all this mean for our listeners today?
Well, I'd love to leave you with 3 questions.
Okay.
What challenges in your life
Mm-hmm.
have pushed you to grow or discover new strengths?
Yeah.
What gives your life a sense of purpose even when things are tough?
Right.
And how can you use this perspective to approach future challenges
Mhm.
with more resilience?
Remember, the search for meaning is an ongoing journey.
It is.
Every challenge, every hardship holds the potential and a deeper sense of purpose. Keep searching.